Hello, I'm Nick Furis, and welcome to the second part of our retrospective of Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew's first pastoral visit to the United States. The first stage of His All Holiness's journey to America took him to the power centers in the capital of the nation and the capital of the world, as he called the city of New York. There he was hailed by political and religious leaders who paid tribute to his worldwide leadership role in contemporary moral and social issues. After Washington and New York, the Ecumenical Patriarch's visit now focused on the Orthodox communities around the country and their role in the life of the American society at large. His All Holiness's next stop was the city of Boston, the home of almost 500,000 Orthodox faithful.
It's an honor. It's a privilege. I mean, for myself, who grew up in a neighborhood of the city, my father worked in a factory, to meet the Patriarch of a great community, great religion, a great history, Constantinople, really the founding basis of all religion. And I'm just so humbled by being able to be here as the mayor of the city of Boston. My wildest dreams, I never thought I would have this opportunity.
Patriarch Bartholomew can teach us all much about ourselves and each other. And I hope in his short stay in our state, we can all learn a lesson about love, humility, and humanity. Once again, welcome to Boston and to Massachusetts. We salute your leadership, your vision, and I wish you a safe and productive visit. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor.
The elegant Parkman House on Beacon Hill, the mayor's official residence, was the site of a luncheon honoring His All Holiness, as well as October 28th, the day commemorating the Greek fight against fascism in World War II. Guests included Senator Edward Kennedy, who interrupted his schedule in Washington to meet His All Holiness in Boston.
His visit is one of inspiration, it's one of faith, it's one of bringing people together, and I think everyone in Massachusetts and the country are enormously grateful for his presence. It's been an inspiring visit, and all of us are very grateful to His Holiness and to his traveling party for all that they have done in bringing people together and inspiring them and giving them the sense of spiritual value, which is so important for our people.
Thank you very much.
In the afternoon, the Ecumenical Patriarch traveled to Watertown, a northwest suburb of Boston, to the community of Taxiarchie Greek Orthodox Church. The gathered faithful from many local communities filled the streets in front of the church holding white candles, lighting them as the Ecumenical Patriarch stepped outside to greet them. Children danced traditional Greek folk dances for His All Holiness, and the youth of Boston Diocese Camp presented him with a special gift.
Boston Diocese Camp welcomes to Boston His All Holiness Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew.
Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew directed his remarks to the many children and youth in the audience, telling them that, as Americans of Greek descent, you should be proud of your Greek Orthodox faith. It is a beautiful adornment to the United States of America.
You are the hopes and dreams of your parents and grandparents, who, leaving the bosom of their motherland, came to this country, to a strange land, so that all of you might have a better life. The 75th anniversary of the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese of America testifies that you are the precious fruits of their labors, and now their legacy is entrusted to you all. And you are not alone. You have brothers and sisters in every corner of the world, the Ecumeni. Our faith is 2,000 years old. The 300 million Orthodox Christian souls who are alive today are but a fraction of all those who have come before us through the centuries. Their legacy is also part of you, of your language, your traditions, your family life, your very being.
Just down the street from the Greek Orthodox Church is St. Stephen's Armenian Apostolic Church. The physical proximity of the two buildings could be a symbol of the spiritual closeness of the two churches, even though the Armenian Church is part of the Oriental Orthodox group of churches that separated from mainstream Orthodoxy in the 5th century. The Armenian Apostolic Church are Monophysites, rejecting the human nature of Christ, contrary to the Orthodox teaching that Christ is of both a divine and a human nature. The leader of the Armenian Apostolic Church, Catholicos Aram, noted that he and the Patriarch have been friends for years, and that Armenians and Greeks are one people of God.
Our churches have been engaged in theological dialogue aimed at giving more and more visible and full unity of the Orthodox world. Your Holiness has been instrumental in initiating and promoting this dialogue between the Oriental and Eastern Orthodox families. It is vitally important, Your Holiness, that under your wise leadership, we give a new impetus and a new encouragement to this inner Orthodox dialogue, because I believe that more than any time, at this critical moment of world Christendom, we need to strengthen the Orthodox unity.
One more venue awaited Patriarch Bartholomew on his first day in Boston. His All Holiness was honored by the John F. Kennedy Library Foundation. The reception and award ceremony was held at the library named after the slain president. The Ecumenical Patriarch is the first religious leader to receive such an honor. Other honorees have included former Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev, King Juan Carlos and Queen Sofia of Spain, and President of South Africa, Nelson Mandela.
It is with great emotion that I receive this award. President Kennedy was a symbol of freedom, and he gave his own life for freedom and dignity of the human person. I represent the Ecumenical Patriarchate, which is an age-old institution serving the same ideals and working throughout the centuries in order to protect the dignity of human person and to guarantee love, peace, hope, and unity around the world. With my colleagues, we feel honored to be tonight at this John Kennedy's library. We thank you very much indeed.
Man of humility, which is always very, very important for those of us who seek to follow the way of Jesus. I see a man of prayer. I see a man of vision, and I must tell you, I see a man with an awesome responsibility who desperately needs our prayer. To be the Ecumenical Patriarch in these days is a tremendous challenge. I think he bears the challenge well, and I think he deserves the love and the prayers of us all.
The next morning, two old friends had the opportunity to meet once again. The residence of Bernard Cardinal Law, the head of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Boston, was the first stop in His All Holiness' schedule. It was a reciprocal visit to that of a Boston Catholic delegation to Constantinople in 1996. The Ecumenical Patriarch had a positive impact on the theological students of the Catholic Seminary, who had gathered to meet and listen to the Orthodox hierarch.
I think it was a beautiful opportunity. I feel that it's a moment of grace for all of us to be here and to be able to meet one of the patriarchs of the church. And it was very emotional for me to be here. I had a really beautiful experience. And as the Cardinal was praying also for unity, I felt a sense that the Holy Spirit was really with us in this whole celebration. And just to see His Holiness and His friendly attitude towards us, and His beautiful gesture and giving the gift to the Cardinal, and being open and giving gifts to all the seminarians, he was very thoughtful. That was very meaningful to me. So I was very pleased to be here and to be part of this celebration today.
Ευλογητός ο Θεός ημών, πάντοτε νυν και αεί, και εις τους αιώνας των
The Greek Orthodox
αιώνων.
Cathedral of the Annunciation was a stage for a pan-Orthodox doxology with the participation of area clergy. At the end of the service, His All Holiness installed Mr. Isam Fares as an archon, or high officer of the Ecumenical Patriarchate, a title that has its roots in the Byzantine Empire. Mr. Fares, a member of the Lebanese parliament, was honored for his long service to the Orthodox Church in his native land and abroad.
This is an institution that has been dedicated to those things in which he firmly believes, peace and justice, and bringing peoples together across the globe. We could have no better representative than His All Holiness with us for that reason, and we're delighted that he's traveled all this way to share this special occasion with us.
His All Holiness was presented with an honorary degree in international law by Tufts University, while his speech was sponsored by the prestigious Fletcher School of Diplomacy.
And you have traveled the world as an apostle for love and peace. Therefore, it is a distinct pleasure for me, on behalf of Tufts University, to award you the degree of Doctor of International Law, honoris causa.
The holistic character which marks the Orthodox conception of the sanctity of creation is strikingly consistent with the international community's emphasis on reconciliation. Social scientists and government policymakers, scholars and practitioners, all those individuals and groups concerned with describing, analyzing, and managing our current system of international relations would do well to look to Orthodox Christianity's theology of creation. It is a model for how human beings can accept responsibility to participate intentionally as co-creators with the Creator, in reconciling humanity with itself, and in ending the alienation of humanity from the natural environment.
The sojourn in the city of Boston would be incomplete without a visit to the institution that has been educating Greek Orthodox priests in America for the past 60 years, the Holy Cross Greek Orthodox School of Theology in Brookline, Massachusetts. Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew paid tribute to the faculty and students of the institution that has become an important part of the intellectual and spiritual life of Boston and the United States. The school awarded an honorary Doctor of Divinity degree to His All Holiness. During the convocation ceremonies, he delivered a major address on church teachings titled Pure Orthodoxy, a Question for the Times, in which he spoke on trends and issues facing the Church. He emphasized to faculty and students that they must keep intact the Church's teachings as handed down by the Apostles and the 7 ecumenical councils. The Ecumenical Patriarch further expressed his concern about secularism creeping into Church practices. He pointed out that general Orthodox dogmatic positions and understandings are, in some cases, replaced with Protestant and Roman Catholic ones. Warning of applying secular thought to orthodoxy, he stated that many of the old and new Orthodox, who are deepening their understanding and living of the Orthodox truth with great zeal, are stressing different existing deviations from correct Orthodox lives. They emphasize a tendency of judging ecclesiastical subjects and problems by worldly criteria, with a debasement of the ecclesiastical criteria. On the issue of accepting converts to the faith, the Patriarch stated, they should not be made to follow local traditions of the particular Orthodox ethnic community they may join. Whatever traditions do not relate to Orthodoxy, but to other parts of life, should not be imposed on the newcomer as a so-called part of Orthodoxy. The next stop in His All Holiness's tour was the city of Atlanta, Georgia. Here, the Ecumenical Patriarch witnessed firsthand the renowned Southern hospitality at the Annunciation Greek Orthodox Cathedral. An honor guard and dozens of children in ethnic dress waited by the driveway leading to the main entrance of one of the newest, most impressive churches of the Archdiocese. A standing room-only crowd in the church and the adjoining community hall watch reverently as the Ecumenical Patriarch, Archbishop Spiridon of America, other hierarchs, and nearly 50 diocese clergy proceeded to the front of the iconostasio, where a Thanksgiving doxology was celebrated.
We know that the faith of the apostles, the faith of the fathers, the faith of our ancestors is a living tradition that is unbroken in authority and practice since the time of Jesus Christ himself. The world over, all Orthodox Christians share this unique pearl of great price. They have guarded it, they have struggled to keep it safe and unharmed, and they struggle still. They have given their lives for the preservation of this treasure. And you, our beloved children in the Lord, are the inheritors of this rich legacy. Here in America, Orthodox Christians of many backgrounds and cultures, we share the ineffable majesty of Christ's living presence. We worship him together, we share the common cup of his body and blood. We are the continuing legacy of the Apostles' Church to preach the word to all the world. We do this in the diversity of our cultures. We proclaim Christ in worship, Greeks as Greeks, Slavs as Slavs, Americans as Americans, and all the rest of our rich diversity. I am deeply moved because I saw the vitality and the dynamism of our homogeneia, of our faithful here. I trust them and I look forward to the future of our church, and I am proud of them. Thank you.
Later that evening, he attended the 60th anniversary banquet of the National Philoptochos Society. More than 1,000 people were present to salute the Ecumenical Patriarch and see Mimi Skandalakis, national president of this society, present a check for $150,000 collected by Philoptochos chapters throughout the nation.
And I'm just totally awed by his presence here, to see our church, the reception he got last night from the parishioners who waited for hours to be able to see him and touch him, and just wonderful. I mean, I'm usually a man of many words, but I'm just humbled and awed.
The next day began with a breakfast sponsored by Fulton County Commission Chairman Mitch Skandalakis at the Georgian Club, attended by business and civic leaders and by other distinguished citizens. At the breakfast, His All Holiness spoke of two men from Atlanta who greatly influenced society.
One man was completely powerless, at least by the world's standards. A preacher and the son of a preacher. The other was the most politically powerful person on the face of the earth. Yet, Martin Luther King changed the course of this nation's understanding of social justice, as much by his death as by his life. And Jimmy Carter, a person very dear to our modesty and the Ecumenical Patriarchate, has become a powerful spiritual force for peace and reconciliation, and this in the years after his term as president of this great nation.
It was Dr. King's role in the civil rights struggle that Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew paid tribute to when he visited the Martin Luther King Center for Social Change the same morning. His All Holiness was the first head of a major faith to visit the center, housed in a 2-block complex next to the Ebenezer Baptist Church in downtown Atlanta. There, Dr. King served as a pastor during the early days of the civil rights movement.
Whole of humanity. I'm very happy that the opportunity is given today to be here with you.
My husband, Martin Luther King Jr., was deeply moved by the courageous support he received from His Eminence, Archbishop Iakovos, primate of the Greek Orthodox Church in North and South America during the American Civil Rights Movement. It has been my great pleasure and privilege to have worked with Archbishop Iakovos on a number of occasions, and I'm pleased to say that we have had the continuing support of the Greek Orthodox Church during the more than 3 decades that have passed since the voting rights campaign. Your presence here today and this prayer service provide yet another affirmation of the bonds of solidarity that unite the Christian Orthodox Church with Christians of every denomination, and indeed people of all faiths in America. Your Holiness, I want to also take this opportunity to thank you for your leadership, not only of the oppressed and persecuted members of the Christian Orthodox Church, but also for providing a voice for greater understanding, unconditional love, and peace between people of all races and religions.
We have come to this shrine of memory today as a humble apostle of peace to pay tribute to another apostle of peace. As a token of our love and our gratitude, we offer a wreath as a sign of the wealth of God's creation. In doing so, we remember another sign of reconciliation, the twig of the olive tree in the beak of the dove, which signaled the end of the flood. Although our peace is not yet complete, and the dream of Dr. King is not yet fully realized, we pray that this humble offering from our hearts to yours may be another sign that the flood of tears might one day cease. May his memory be eternal. And now we sing in Greek a short prayer for his soul.
I invite you now to receive the President's Medal, the highest honor awarded by Emory University beyond those uniquely a part of our commencement exercises.
After a brief visit to the Atlanta Diocese offices, His All Holiness attended a luncheon in his honor at Emory University, one of the nation's leading private institutions of higher learning. During the luncheon, Dr. William M. Chase, Emory's president, gave Ecumenical Patriarch Bartholomew the President's Medal for his efforts to nurture greater spiritual unity among people.
The art of educating succeeding generations cannot proceed without adequate measures of faith, and of hope, and of love. And if it is sobering to ask whether these virtues are in short supply on the modern campus, we may be grateful for your reminder that such virtues come by grace and perseverance in the face of very great obstacles, and such virtues do endure. So we are honored, Your All Holiness, to greet you, to recognize the significance of your ministry and your teaching to the world.
An ecumenical prayer service for peace took place at the Centennial Olympic Park in downtown Atlanta, which served as the focal point of the 1996 Summer Olympics. His All Holiness, along with the Metropolitans of the Holy Synod and Archbishop Spiridon of America, were joined by clergy